Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye mahā-bāratam Advaitam Mritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva Manusandadhami Bhagvad Gite Bhavadveshini. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O bestower of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism, O goddess, contained in the 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. And now, Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva sutam devam kansachanuramardanam devakim paramanandam krishnam vande jagadguru. O son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. And now we take up the 26th Shloka of the Sankhya Yoga, the second adhyaya of the Bhagavad Gita. Sri Krishna is talking to Arjuna. He is sharing those words of eternal wisdom to get over this despondent condition of his beloved disciple Arjuna. Sri Krishna says, atha chainaṁ nitya-jātaṁ nityaṁ manyase mṛitam tathāpi tvaṁ mahā-bāho naivaṁ śhochitum arhasi. Now Sri Krishna is talking to Arjuna regarding from the standpoint of Atman, from materialistic point of view. All these verses that we have read and Sri Krishna has taught to Arjuna and Sri Krishna has taught to us is from the perspective of Atman, from the grandest perspective, from the Advaitic perspective, from the knowledge perspective. That Sri Krishna has, first of all, he told Arjuna to start with that you are grieving for those Kauravas who should not be grieved. They have done so much evil, they have done so much unjust, they have done so much wrong that even if you kill them in this Mahabharata, in this mighty war, even if you kill them, you should not feel sorry for that. They don't deserve that you should have pity on them. They are the worst kind of evildoers. And after starting on this note, then Sri Krishna told Arjuna that Atman is, killing body is another thing. Atman is the one which is everlasting, which was there in the beginning, which is there now, which is going to be there always. And Sri Krishna also told him, you are talking about killing the people. He said, you and me and all these, they have been there since time immemorial. We are here today. We will be there in the future, so don't grieve. And then Sri Krishna explained in those beautiful terms, in those words of wisdom about the nature of the Atman. And he told Arjuna that just like when our clothes, our garments, they get worn out, we change them, vasansi jirnani atha vihaya. And like in the same manner, the Atman, having found the body unsuitable to wear, unsuitable to dwell in, having become worn out, the Atman decides to leave it now. Get a new one. Get a new garment. Get a new shirt, new pant, new dress, new sari. And that is how the bodies fall off. There is no need to grieve. Then Sri Krishna went on explaining the qualities of the Atman. Nainam chindanti shastrani, that the Atman cannot be cut by the weapons. Atman cannot be made wet by water. Atman cannot be burnt by fire. Atman cannot be dried by the wind. None of these four gross elements of this universe have any impact on the Atman. The Atman is achedyaha. The Atman is adayaha. The Atman is akledyaha and ashoshaha. Achedya is it cannot be cut. Adaya, it cannot be burnt. Akledyaha, it cannot be made wet. And ashosya, it cannot be dried. So Atman is beyond the influence of any of these gross elements of this universe. So don't worry, don't feel bad, don't grieve. And he also explained that this our Atman, this Brahman is nityaha. It is eternal. It was there in the beginning, it is there now, it is going to be there. On the entire time frame it is going to cover. Then it is sarvagataha, it is all pervading. It is not that just we are here at this particular point. The Atman is all pervading. Then sthanuhu, Atman is ever stable. And achala, immovable. You cannot take Atma from this place and keep it that place. No. It doesn't happen. The bodies, you may go from one place to another. But the Atman, the Paramatman, it is ever immovable. It is achala. Again, what is this Atman? It is avyakta, it is achintya, it is avikarya. This Atman is, it doesn't manifest. Avyakta. It doesn't have any name and form. It is achintya. You can't think about Atman. What it is, how does it look like, what are his qualities? No. It is achintya. It is beyond your thought process. Your thoughts cannot reach Atman. Your words cannot reach Atman because it is beyond name and form. And which is beyond name and form, beyond Nama Roop, you cannot put it in words. And Sri Ramakrishna had told in the explanation of that Shloka, the Sri Ramakrishna's teachings that Swami Chidbhavananda ji has used. What Brahman is cannot be described. It is, you cannot put any words to Brahman. Brahman is tall, Brahman is short, Brahman is fat, Brahman looks so beautiful. Brahman doesn't look beautiful. You cannot describe Brahman in words. So, and it is avikarya. It doesn't get mutated, it doesn't get changed. So that is the nature of Atman that Sri Krishna has explained to Arjuna till our previous reading. And now here from this shlok, from the 26th, atha chainaṁ nitya-jātaṁ nityaṁ manyase mṛitam tathāpi tvaṁ mahā-bāho naivaṁ śhochitum arhasi. In this shlok, Sri Krishna is changing his direction of explaining. He's changing his direction of the way he is teaching Arjuna. And now, from materialistic point of view now, Sri Krishna thought maybe, if I teach Arjuna in somewhat a different manner, words may enter his mind. He may perceive them much better. And therefore he says, atha chainaṁ nitya-jātaṁ. Atha is now. And. Cha is and. Enam, this. Nitya-jātaṁ, constantly born. Nityaṁ, constantly. Va manyase mṛitam, or think it constantly dies. Tathāpi tvaṁ mahā-bāho. Tatha is therefore. The api, even then. Tvaṁ, you. Mahā-bāho, O mighty armed. Sri Krishna is now addressing Arjuna as mahā-bāho because he has all the capacity. He is capable of destroying the enemy army. He is that mighty warrior. So, mahā-bāho is how Sri Krishna is referring to Arjuna now in this shloka. Na enam śhochitum arhasi. Na is not, enam śhochitam. This grieving arhasi you should do. So Sri Krishna is telling, granted, even if you conceive of Atman as given to constant births and deaths. Fine, I have told you Atman is beyond birth and death. All these things I have told you. But if you are not able to comprehend those teachings, okay, let us, for the sake of consideration, consider that, okay, Atman has life and death. So, O mighty armed, O mahā-bāho, even if you consider Atman to have births and deaths constantly, this moment Atman is born, next moment Atman is dead, third moment Atman is again born, it is undergoing that cycle of birth and death, birth and death, birth and death. Even if you consider it is that, okay, that Atman takes birth, Atman dies. Even then, O mighty armed, you should not grieve. There is no need to grieve, because if something is constantly getting birth and died, and you know it is again going to take birth, what is the need to grieve for? So, Sri Krishna has changed the direction of his teaching from the highly knowledge point of view to the ordinary plane. That fine, agree. I have explained to you, Atman doesn't die, Atman doesn't take birth, all those things in deep philosophical terms I have explained to you. But if you are not able to comprehend those high level philosophical terms, let me talk to you in simple layman's language. Accepted, Atman is constantly taking birth and constantly dying, one after the another lives the Atman is undergoing. Now, if you consider that to be the thing, what is the need to grieve? Because the Atman which has died now will be born again after some time. Again it will die. If that is the process, if continuously it is taking birth, getting death, taking birth, again dies, what is the need for anything that keeps on constantly changing? Now, on that, Swami Chidbhavananda ji says that there is nothing permanent is the view of the materialists. They feel everything is just for the time being. Now, if that is the thing, the Lord now takes this standpoint for inquiry, for the discussion. Now, Sri Krishna has changed his, way of teaching. Consider this all thing is temporary. There is no permanency. Granting that this view is true, even then there is no ground for grieving. There is no need to feel sorrow about. A man being given to theism, atheism, agnosticism, materialism, or any other belief is not of much consequence. Whichever thought process he may have, he may be atheist, he may be theistic, he may be agnostic or materialistic, whichever way you think this life and death to be. If it is ever changing, if it is in constant recycling mode, what is the need to grieve for that? Irrespective of his creed, he must be free from sorrowing. It is despondency that takes away all manliness from man, and that is what the Arjuna is highly despondent, and that has taken away all the manliness from him. And Sri Krishna is now instigating that manliness back into Arjuna by referring to him as mahā-bāho, oh mighty armed. So now the way of explanation, the way of teaching is totally changed from highly philosophical level to just ordinary plane. Just consider the Atman takes birth, Atman dies, and it is a continuous process. It is constant happening. If this is happening. Now, do we ever repent? Do we ever feel sorry that we have changed from which stage to which stage? The bodily changes. We were beautiful, small infants. Then we became cute-looking children, the little kids, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. Then we started growing. We became a little older children. Then we got into the stage of youth. We have crossed all these times all these phases on the time scale. Do we feel sorry for it? Yes, sometimes we do, but we can't do anything about it. We took birth. We have to undergo these changes. We have to accept it. Now I have become old. I have lost hair. All my, this hair has turned white. I have lost my original eyesight. Now I need glasses. Now I may feel, oh, these glasses suit me so much. But still, the moment I don't put on the glasses, I can't see anything, which is bad, isn't it? But do I feel sorry for it? No, there is no need. Because these changes are bound to happen with the physical body, with the impermanent body, with the perishable body. And with every second, every moment that I live, I know I am approaching a phase where the body will cease to exist. As simple as that. And then another birth, another journey, another cycle. So, for these changes, if we do not grieve, what is the need to grieve for shedding this body, for shedding this garment, for throwing off this garment, and then going and getting a beautiful new kurta, a beautiful new shirt, a beautiful new dress? What is wrong in that? So, there is no need to feel sorry about it. Now, this is how Sri Krishna has changed his direction of teaching, his way of teaching. So, that was a beautiful teaching indeed in the 26th Shloka. With that, Om Namah Shri Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swami.